Often when we have bespoke pieces to work on, particularly if they are already a complete garment, we need to open up a section and reclose it to place the embroidery onto it. This piece was one such job where we needed to access the front of this leather jacket to embroider it, so we needed to carefully remove part of the silk lining. Here you can see how we removed the stitches from the seam to separate the pattern pieces of the jacket in the desired area. We remove the thread but keep it intact, and in some cases, like on ties, we would use this same thread to sew it up again afterwards. Using a stiletto, we lift the stitches out from the seam. This brass stiletto is ideal for the job as it's very narrow, but the end is slightly rounded so it doesn't catch on anything, but can slide between the stitches and ease them out. The longer the loose thread becomes, the more difficult it is to keep it all intact, but it's worth keeping the thread intact so as not to compromise the jacket at all. So as we get further down, a little more patience is required for each stitch. We have one pin marker here into the silk only, which shows us where we can finish opening up the seam to, and we should be able to access the area for the embroidery on the front. Once the embroidery is complete, it's time to put it back together as if nothing happened. Keeping the original threads attached, we tie them off and pop them inside the jacket lining to be sealed within. As this is a leather jacket, you can see the needle holes from the previous stitching, which we'll use as a guide to putting the pieces back together. Using pins to reposition the silk back to match the leather, matching the tensions of these two very different fabrics. As the pattern pieces are on a curve, it can take a few goes to get it to sit nicely, as the silk has the potential to stretch around that curve. As the leather holds the holes made by the previous machine, we ensure that every one of these is used and make sure that no more are made so as not to compromise the integrity of the fabric with both the pins and the stitches. When the machining was originally done, it would have been done from the underside so that all the stitching is hidden within the jacket. The challenge now with the hand stitching is to replicate that and keep the thread on the inside of the fabric for the finish.